what is it that's going to make you stand out? As I mentioned before, it is really your attitude. It's your attitude, because when I hire a lot of people, I know you don't know anything. We invest a lot of time in you, a lot of time that costs us money. While my staff are training you, they can't work on client work. I want you to stay at the agency, and I want to hire you. So this is my dream. I don't take any short-term interns on board, because we did at one stage. We hired a whole bunch of interns from France, and they were just like, oh, can we come for a 3-month internship? And we're like, yeah, okay. And then I realized, what? All this time going into developing these random people, and then they just leave. So since then, that was like 8 years ago, I've never done it again. We only hire people that with a view that we develop them, because I want you to become a full-time employee. And literally last month, I already hired 2 of my interns full-time. They now work full-time for us. As well, they moved from an internship contract to a full-time employee contract. Okay, so what's going to make you stand apart? Obviously, I've spoken about humility and being at the bottom of the ladder and eating the brown stuff with a smile on your face. Talked about attitude. We don't hire a-holes. We won't work with a-holes. We don't have clients who are a-holes, and I don't have staff who are a-holes. We have a no shouting policy at our company. Nobody shouts at anybody, and nobody gets to crap on anybody, and definitely nobody gets to be an a-hole to somebody. Like, we had a staff member slam down the phone on another staff member the other day. I was like, no, it's not our culture. Kiss and make up right now. Go and apologize. Be humble. You were wrong. So that is our culture. Not everybody has that culture. You're going to maybe get a job at an agency that's very, very hard-hitting, very cold, very bitchy, but you remain true to your values, okay? So it is a very fast-paced environment, and we don't spoon feed you in the sense that we will literally leave you alone. And then after about 2-3 weeks, I start messaging the groups going, is anybody working with Rosita? And then everybody replies, no. I gave her some work, she didn't reply. And then somebody says, yeah, I gave her some work, but I never heard back. And I'm like, what the heck is Rosita doing? She's been working for us for like 3 weeks. And then, so when you get in there, you have to get adopted by a little group. You have to like stick. You've got to find your mentor. And obviously, if you work with us, we'll help you. We'll put you in a little group and say, this is your group. Bond with them. Do what you need to do. If you're working remotely, schedule meetings to make sure you have your face-to-face time. But you got to bond. You've got to communicate. You've got to communicate. You've got to communicate. You've got to communicate. We've let people go because they don't communicate. We can't work if you're not telling us you're stuck. We can't work with you if you don't raise your hand and say, I'm done. You know, like, you've got to learn to over communicate. Rather over communicate than under communicate, because you can lose your position through under communication. So communicate. And here's the other tip. Are you all listening? This is a very big tip. Be an expert in one platform. In South Africa, Facebook is our biggest platform. In Africa, Facebook is our biggest platform. So be an expert in one platform, like know it better than anybody else in the agency. Because I promise you, when people realize that you know everything about Facebook and Facebook Ads Manager and Instagram, they're going to be saying, oh, you know, just tell me quickly, you know, how does this work? And you're going to be, when you need it, you are indispensable. And when you're indispensable, you're going to do well. So invest your time in mastering a platform. So I would also say that that's really important. So you're working with people who don't have time to maybe brief you properly. You have to put your hand up. And here's the best way to get anyone's attention is you book a mini meeting with them. Go in their calendar, see when they have a gap, say, I need 15 minutes of your time, please. Well, if you can't make it, who can sit with me? I need more information. I need more context, blah, blah, blah. I've watched 15 videos online. I know as much as I can know, but and I've looked at the client's stuff, but I'm still a little bit stuck. I'm not getting the angle. So I think that's also really important, is you know, if people don't give you enough information, you've got to ask, you've got to ask, you've got to push. It's literally like Survivor out there, you know, you've got to claw a little bit to get noticed, and don't be passive. Like, don't sit back and like just wait. Always be in people's faces, because then you will be indispensable and people will want to keep you on the team. So the other thing I wanted to teach you quickly is that nobody is your parent and you are not the child. So that's also an important distinction to know, is that there is no parent here. You are an adult. Step up. And the other thing to realize is some of us have this thing of, oh, no one's going to help me. No one's going to help me, so I'm not even going to ask. I've had a lot of people with this mentality. You know, you come to the workforce and you just immediately are hopeless. You think, you just get overwhelmed and that. And so no matter who you are working for, if you've reached out to your manager and your manager's manager and colleagues and you're not getting anywhere, book a meeting with the more senior person. Just say you just wanted to sit, raise your hand, you're stuck, you don't know what to do. Speak to HR, do whatever you need to do, but your direct manager is the best place to go. And don't be quiet. Definitely put your hand up. Everybody wants to help.